So, when I was in middle school, I used to have like this same recurring dream. I was at my maternal grandmother's house, which was a richy rich house at the time. And in the family room that no one was allowed to go into unless it was a holiday, there was this coffee table in the middle. Now, all of that was accurate, except in the dream, I could actually go in the coffee table. It had like this child-sized hole in it, and I could climb into it, and it became a room. The room was super small, but it was perfect for a child. Everything was ornate, and it was full of brocade and jewels. It was beautiful. And the walls were soft, everything was soft, and I felt super warm and comforted every time I went there. It was warm and cozy like a fuzzy blanket in the wintertime. I don't dream about that place anymore, but I wish I could be there right now. So I consider myself as someone without a culture. What do I mean by that? Well, let me explain. Obviously, I am black, but I wasn't raised in a traditional black family. I was raised as a Seventh-day Adventist. A black Seventh-day Adventist, but an Adventist nonetheless. For those of you that weren't raised Adventist, most of what I consider Adventist culture isolates you from the rest of the world. And I have since rejected most of my Adventist upbringing. Now, because Adventist culture separates you from the world, I had to do a lot of catching up when it came to learning what the world was like. But at the time, in order to have any kind of culture in my life, I started really getting into Japanese culture. I learned a lot from movies, TV, obviously anime, and a lot of online research. I immersed myself in so much Japanese culture that I kind of forgot how to be American. To this day, I still have trouble using forks. I'm not joking. Most of what I use is chopsticks. But I'm not Japanese. But that was the only culture I felt a part of for a very long time. As I started to learn more about things like cultural appropriation, I decided to kind of immerse myself in more black culture. But to be honest, it didn't go very well. Because of my Adventist upbringing and the fact that after I was 12, I actually didn't interact with as many black people as I did growing up, I just didn't feel like I belonged. I can even give you an example. Why should I, as a black person, feel low-key racist using AAVE? True, I didn't grow up speaking this way because my mom was all about speaking proper English, but I tick the same box as every other black person. So I have once again moved to being a person with no culture. I sound white, look black, and act Japanese. But two of those are very wrong, and one just feels weird to me. So that's why I consider myself a person with no culture. Oh well.
Let's get this shit, go, go, go.
So here is the story of my last official ex. So we dated near the end of high school and some of my college. We were both part of the same social circle, meaning we were both weird outcast kids. Yeah, we probably shouldn't have dated, but to be honest, I was desperate. So around my, I think, freshman year of college, we start having weird problems because of the distance. And, my dad never really liked him. And at the time, I was really, really close to my dad and I really valued his opinion. So he had like a falling out with my dad during like a music festival. And it was a school music festival. It wasn't like a cool music festival. They had a falling out. And so I decided I didn't really need to be dating him anymore, and it didn't seem to be going anywhere anyway. So I broke up with him on the night of my parents' anniversary, like renewing a vows thing, because I'm a dramatic bitch. But we decided to still stay friends, so he just kind of came up to like where I went to school and stuff, and we'd hang out and things. It was just kind of a weird dynamic, but like whatever, I'm weird, so who cares? Also, he was the only boy who gave me any attention. But around my junior year in college, I started like just kind of learning more about who I am. That's not a hint for anything. I just started learning more about who I am and started speaking my mind more and more. And I wasn't really liking the way that he was treating me. And it came to a head at one particular event. So we went ice skating. I'm not very good at ice skating, and at the time I was having some severe health problems. So I would have to take a break every time that we went around the rink. And I went with him, and I guess we met like one of his friends there. And it was just kind of a weird dynamic. He treated me very strangely. And one of the times when I decided to go sit down, he literally came over to me and he said, Andrea, this is when I was going by Andrea, you're making me look like a bad friend. And I'm like, excuse me? I've had health problems. So I'm like, fine, whatever, I'm leaving. But I couldn't leave because he was my ride. We haven't spoken since that day. And I'm glad about that. Don't date someone just because you're desperate. So I've been rewatching a lot of movies that I grew up with, one of which being the Sister Act series, specifically Sister Act 2. And something that always bothered me in that movie is the subplot with Lauryn Hill and her mother. First of all, her mom acts like singing itself killed her dad, which is ridiculous unto itself, but that's not what we're talking about. I'm talking about when the mother catches Lauryn Hill singing, she just kind of takes her stuff away, and not once does Lauryn Hill say, this is for a class. It's for a grade. I will fail the class. Like, the choir is literally their music class, their entire music class. So they would clearly be getting a grade at some point. In fact, they go over that at the beginning of the movie. All she had to say was, Mom, this is for a grade, and her mom would have either backed off, or she would have gone to Whoopi Goldberg to complain about it, and she would have changed her mind somehow. Whatever, it's a 90s movie, who cares? Like, that subplot has such an easy solution, and not once is it ever brought up, and ultimately that subplot is useless anyway. Either way, I still love that movie, and R.I.P. to Lauryn Hill's career.
So I wear a different color every day. It's not for any huge reason. It just helps me organize my life. Also, I feel lucky when I wear the color of the day. And today I woke up and I'm like, I would need to wear something pink because today is Wednesday, and on Wednesdays we wear pink until October 3rd. That's just how I live my life. So I go in my closet and I'm like, oh no, I don't have really anything pink that's for summer, which has been a common problem all summer, but I have not rectified it, and I'm not going to rectify it because summer's almost over and I'm ready for fall. So I go into my closet and I'm like, okay, I have a pink tank top, but I can't just wear that to work. So I'm like, okay, I'll put something else over it. And so I have this shirt that I dyed that I got from Walmart, and I'm like, okay. And I put on a skirt and I'm like, all right, okay, I'm looking cute. But honestly, can you tell me, is this a fit? I don't know. Like Like, is this a fit? Is this something that people wear? I just throw stuff together, and I honestly don't know. I don't know if it looks good. So I'm just gonna continue wearing this all day. Obviously, I'm already at work. I'm in the work bathroom, but I'm gonna wear this all day, and I'm gonna wear this to choir. And if somebody clowns on me about my terrible fit, namely my best friend whose chat head I can see on Messenger right now, I know he's gonna clown on me. He's like, what the hell are you wearing? It is what it is. It's just gonna happen.
Okay, y'all. Today has just broken me. I don't know why. I think I'm tired. Okay, but so like I take the bus every day and I've seen a lot of weird shit on the bus. So like I've seen a guy argue with another guy after he had chugged an entire bottle of like rum, and then he just argued the whole bus ride with his pants unzipped. Nothing happened, but that was weird. Then I had a guy a couple weeks ago who was saving his spot next to him with a banana. That was weird. But for some reason, today, like just like 2 minutes ago, just like broke me. I don't know why, but it did. This guy, he gets on the bus. First of all, like I'm at the bus stop. I'm waiting there for 15 minutes. The bus is late. I'm annoyed because I have like props for a new cosplay under my arm that got delivered to work. So I'm like standing there, and this guy, he comes over to the bus stop and he just sits. He just drops down. And I'm like, okay, like what is this guy doing? And the bus gets there and I'm like, whatever, I'll just leave him behind, so who cares? Guy gets on the bus, and then on the bus ride to my bus stop, he's just sitting there with his bare hands eating a jar of green olives. And I don't know why, but it broke me. Like, I don't know why. And I don't want to judge, because maybe that was like the only thing he could get and he's hungry. But he's just eating a jar of green olives. I've never seen someone eat like I used to eat like cans of black olives when I was a kid. Like that was like the most delicious thing when I was a kid. Just going to Aldi and getting a can of black olives and splitting them with my brothers. That's a great memory of mine. But green olives are gross. I'm actually crying. I don't know why this broke me. What's wrong today? And I'm still in this damn outfit.
In truth, there is no better place to be than falling out of darkness, still to see. Without a premonition, could you tell me where we stand? I'd hate to lose this light before we land. And when I feel like I can feel once again, let me stay a while, soak it in a while. If we can hold on, we can fix what is wrong by a little time. For this head of mine, haven for us.
So, I accidentally brought a raw egg with me this morning instead of the boiled eggs I made last night. To say that I'm like close to tears would be an understatement. I am so upset right now that I can't even form the words. Oh my God.
Yeah, and I got it all over my hands. I literally just cracked it into a raw egg. I'm glad I didn't like crack it over my desk. I need a hug.
Once again, I have ended up like this. I've already cleaned my arm like 3 times. I tried making my own hash browns and they're not brown because they're burnt. They're brown because I left them in the fridge for a day and a half. That's clearly something that needs to be made on the day. I'm learning cooking. But you know what? The rest of my breakfast is turning out okay. It's not pretty, but it'll taste good. I'm having this with root beer. So, my little sister just posted pictures of her at a Y2K themed party. So did you know that Walmart sells coffins now? I think I might be looking into one since clearly I have one foot in the grave. So I, like everyone else, tends to find myself just mindlessly scrolling through life hacks sometimes. They are impossible to escape. But I have found one thing to get me out of that loop. If a life hack person tells me that I'm doing something wrong, I'm done. I don't need you to tell me that I'm doing something wrong. No, I'm not using salt wrong. No, I'm not using butter wrong. And no, I'm not using my colander wrong. These rules aren't real, and I am an agent of chaos. You cannot stop me. Anyway, what was I talking about? So my friends kind of make fun of me a little bit because I was basically raised by anime. A lot of my personality and my interests come from anime. My love of Earl Grey tea, that's because of Black Butler. My love of royal milk tea, that's because of The Melancholy of Haruhi Suzumiya. My love of skipping everywhere, that's because of The Jungle Book. The one from 1989, not the Disney one. That was my first anime. My love of watching the snow fall and it catching the light, because of Diamond Daydreams. Omrice, pick a series. Alt rock, AMVs could not be stopped. I love wolves because of Princess Mononoke, and swords because of Rurouni Kenshin. Using chopsticks since I was 11? That should be obvious. I even make the anime sounds. You know the ones, I'm not going to demonstrate. And the list goes on and on. And don't get it twisted. I don't think that's a bad thing. Every time I watch these older anime, I'm reminded of good times from my childhood. And sometimes, you just need to remember the good times.